So before you watch this video, just real quick, because you're gonna want to watch this video, it's very important to understand where the market is right now and what could happen over the next few days and throughout earnings season for the rest of the year. Generally, it's very big moment. Okay, you're gonna want to know. Before that, I do want to say, I recorded a portion of the live stream because YouTube wouldn't let me edit the live stream. Okay, and then I did some simple edits. However, I forgot to turn my webcam off when I re-recorded the live stream. So I overlapped myself over myself talking, okay, over the other webcam that was on the live stream, okay? So I'm just like laying back in my chair like an idiot, but but you hear me talking even though I'm not talking. That's why it looks so goofy. I'm gonna upload it anyways, even though it's insanely embarrassing, because it's important and I want to get the content out, and there's still some good thoughts here. So enjoy. Looking really bullish right here, and we're coming up to a real kill level. We have like a quadruple top forming, and we're going to test some important EMAs coming in here. On Tesla, we have a wedge forming as well. This is really interesting. It's going to test this EMA on the 4 hour. I'm still bullish here. I still think the short-term low's in. If it breaks below this wedge that we're seeing here, I'm going to call myself wrong, and I'm going to go a little bit more risk off. I shorted Meta today, all day today, and I think Meta could go all the way back to 426. I'm looking for like a AB sideways ABC to potentially form here, but support is a long ways away. I did take a good portion of those shorts off though, pretty much close the position and then only set up a spread to capture some more downside. CVS is in a really interesting spot as well. This is a really boring, lame name, but we're testing a really key level right here, and a break over that should give us a nice push to the upside. Looking really good. Intel's in a really interesting spot as well with the news here. I'm not so bought into the narrative that China will invade Taiwan. I actually think that that's more of a very small, slight probability. Putin met with Xi. They talked about, he told him how he's going to take over Ukraine probably super fast. And I think Xi's watched that turn into a nightmare for them and be a complete mess. He's probably sitting there thinking, wow, the Russian generals aren't that good, and mine have also never seen war. So maybe it doesn't go the way I think it does, because they don't have experience. They haven't done anything. So I think it's a very small probability that actually happens at this point. I think that was a warning. And so, and as for the broader market, I don't want to be repetitive. Yeah, IWM looks good. The tracement looks strong. The one thing I will say is these semiconductor stocks on these daily charts, they're coming back to very pivotal EMAs. So if tomorrow or Friday is weak for these, they're going to plunge. It's going to be ugly. Okay. You need the bounce right here. I'm looking at the video right now, and I'm just thinking like, a lotto put here. If it does play out, you play what you're willing to lose. Because if it plays out, you're probably going to get a multi-bagger right there. So they need to retrace here, and the technicals don't look great either. So that's the comments I pretty much wanted to give. Thanks for giving me a moment, guys.
Yeah, sorry we didn't get to you earlier. Normally the hands up thing works pretty well, but I guess we're just glitching out today. I didn't see it.
All good. I don't know at what point in the live stream I actually got to talk and speak a little bit, but we're going to do some market analysis now that we got those comments out. Maybe I'll even clip the portion of when I actually got to speak. So we're looking at SPY. We had this super sell-off, like I just said, in those spaces here. And I mean, this is pretty much what I'm watching. I'm watching a few different names. Jumia is another name that I think looks really interesting. And we're coming back and like testing this EMA. The daily still looks strong. The weekly still looks strong. The monthly starting to fire to the upside here. Of course, when the chart is so small like this, it's only 4 years. The monthly is less of a signal than you would like it to be, but the weekly being's this strong. It's good. This company, this is your African Amazon. Great name. Big potential there. Intel's in a really interesting position with this expanding wedge, but it's coming back. It could come back and test this EMA. The daily and the weekly here are still looking strong. So this looks like it's going to be an outperformer, and maybe it has something to do with that narrative, but I want to keep a really close eye here and see what this wants to do. because this could lead it back into a plummet, and we could come back to this EMA because we just failed this EMA, and that's not a good sign. Even though the daily is looking strong, so it might want to consolidate sideways a little bit, and that I think would be really healthy right here. I don't want to see any more big gaps ups or gaps down. I want to see some consolidation of convictions here. Okay, especially the monthly's rolling over. That's not a good sign. Ion Q, I thought that this would have a bigger test of this 0.382. Instead, it ended up coming defending at the 50% retracement right here. It is still in a bearish EMA, so it's got, and actually you can see it just printing continuously below that. So it looks like it got a little bit far away from it, came back up, and now it's traveling further down. That's not a good sign. I'm still in profits on my shares here. I just want to see what this looks like on the weekly. The weekly's still improving here though. So if and the daily still looks good. So this probably just likely needs some time. I want to see what it looks like when we get to this, about 820. I want to see what we look like then. And if not, then I'll go ahead and try and draw this line. I'm looking for like a miniature 5-wave pattern to form, like right here, wave 1, 2, maybe call that a complex 2, 3, 4, something like that. Could play out. The others, not the stock small caps, because I'm looking at small caps because this looks like where the action is going to be, right? IWM. I mean, can you even call this retracement? One of those guys in those Twitter Spaces was talking about how he's glad he swung those IWM puts. He didn't have to do anything. Yeah, I think most people who were in that position would have gotten their face put through a wall because they would likely sell right here on the pump right off the open. Holding something like this when you're swinging short-term puts is extremely difficult to do. I mean, you get a clear breakout of both the EMAs and you're just pumping. What was that for like the first 15 minutes of the market open? You just look wrong and you just feel wrong. And then you're also going to look over at something like QQQ, which is melting all day long. So, I mean, what is this? This is a $2 move. I wouldn't feel very like I had a very good day if I had IWM puts. So I just think this is just a silly thing to be like, oh, I did really good. I had IWM puts. This is like clearly what you want to be shorting is QQQ, not IWM. And lots of people will say, well, I'm tempted to short this because look at the rally it's had. That's kind of like new trader stuff, right? You want to short what's weak. You want to play what's strong. You want to play in trends, right? You could time tops, but I'd rather, in an instance like this, look how expensive these premiums are going to be, right? These premiums are going to be insane after a big move like this. So when you're looking to maybe get short, you think it's going to decay. I prefer to just wait for the pullback to come in, or I prefer to sell calls because the premiums are so high. So, on this sell-off, you're first of all not taking a lot of pain if you sell the call. Not taking anywhere as much pain as you would as a short-term put. And then you're also going to collect all that premium back, and you could probably continue to play that trend. As we can see, like here on the 1 hour, we are below a bearish EMA path. So this could have another day of retracement. And, that's the same thing I've seen with several of these names. So I'm kind of wondering if tomorrow, if TSM earnings isn't good, like we might have. I just want to quickly take another look at this for tomorrow morning. What do we have? Yeah, so it's just TSMC. Nokia, Domino's. Haven't taken a look at Domino's. Don't want to take a look at Domino's. And then we have Netflix. I haven't looked at Netflix today, but Netflix is another one that's been bleeding. This double top is really ugly for Netflix. It's disgusting looking. So, man, that daily just fired to the downside. Look at that. We got a few candles to the downside. That usually, so like when you get the first initial flip, okay, it usually, if it's strong like this, it usually leads to a trade that you can keep on for a week or two on these larger time frames. So yeah, Netflix has a lot to prove on this earnings to justify this price. And I think it's going to be kind of hard for them to do. We'll see how it turns out. We're below this EMA though. I feel like another gap down's coming. Let's look at our weekly right here. We might come test this weekly. Is what we might do. It's only, it is $50 off the highs. Is that defending? It's kind of hard to see. It's just barely defending. Can I get a zoomed in view of the daily? Daily definitely broken, is trying to reclaim. I'd be worried about Netflix. Netflix might be good for some, for some lotto puts, honestly. All right. All right. TLT looks continue to be holds. You know, I've been arguing with a few other traders on the socials about TLT, but I'm looking at this wedge and I'm saying TLT looks great. TLT looks great, man. You know, this looks very bullish. This daily hasn't even printed to the upside. We're already seeing some recovery. This is all with anticipation. You know, if you go watch my weekly reports, I kind of covered some of that. Mara looks really interesting. This is what I forgot to mention on Twitter. Mara is coming and back tested this second EMA and then caught a nice bounce. That bounce is great. It looks like it's slightly down, but the thing is that Bitcoin looks like it's decent. Actually, the sell-off here looks awful. That's not what you wanted to see. What you want to see is this actually reclaim. Let's look at their daily real quick. Yeah, we're still in this though. So I mean, this thing could come all the way back to like 63 and still be above this trend here. And the daily's just fine to the upside. But the 1 hour just looks like tomorrow might actually give a dip on things like Mara. That might be a chance to buy actually, because that's the way I'm going to play it. I took a lot of risk off this morning, so I'm loving seeing these dips, and I want to buy these dips. That's looking good. Palantir's just chopping. This name's been really sturdy at levels where it usually likes to have these big gives. But considering that it likes to have these big gives, I would keep a close eye on earnings coming up, okay, on August 5th. But this is a big level. I really want to see it in the 30s. I really want to see it over 29, and I'd be so happy. So I have some long calls on here, and I didn't even realize it had a perfect double top. Look at that. Yeah, I want this to break this double top, and I want it to do it sooner rather than later. Otherwise, I don't want it to look like Netflix. So, where it's going to have this, like, just, I mean, I guess it hasn't been that long for Netflix. How long has it been since we hit that? It didn't even quite hit it, did it? So it's been 12 days. That's fine. I have calls for January, so I'm fine with that. I'd just be worried about this earnings season. I think it's going to be more differentiated than most earnings. So it's going to be something to keep an eye on. All right, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Yeah, Archer is really cool, and I want to come in and buy this on dips. I guess the reason I was going through the charts on Amazon is this doesn't look that great on the daily, and it's really, this daily and weekly. The weekly is rolling over here with the daily rolling over. We're seeing this EMA could potentially break. Just look how long this has been here. Okay, we're due for a nice test to come back here, and then continue our rally, and that's fine. That's healthy. Right? IWM's getting his time to shine. The big techs are getting their pullbacks that they need that show some health. And then we party, baby. We party. They come meet in the middle. Market rallies together. It'll be party time. And I mean, this process of these come down and this come up. I mean, look how fast IWM has moved. Look how fast. And some people say that this is just a short-term move. Some people are saying that this isn't the big breakout everyone thinks it is. So that tells me that this is far from done. This is early days. Okay. This isn't SPY. This isn't the 2000s. No, this is 1990. This is 97. All right. We are not here. Okay. We are here. That's where I'm seeing it. We could even potentially be exactly like within this spot. So, maybe after the election at the beginning of the year, we actually do see a retracement like this, but then technology improves and it brings us up and up and up. Then AI comes through. AI is very deflationary and then comes down. That's what I'm looking for over a multi-year time frame at this moment. Very subject to change. I take new information and I move with it. You got to stay nimble. Anyways, that's going to be it. I'm going to cut down the live stream so that's easier to swallow, so you don't watch me sit here and play video games and wait to speak, because